G'day legends, I hope you're all amazing. On today's video, we're going to check out the Lexicon PCM70, a unit that I've been wanting to try for years and years. It's one of the units that really sparked my obsession with vintage rack gear, and I have to shout out the one and only Clifton Wright for selling me one of his PCM70 units. I've been wanting to try one, like I said, for so long. I was chatting to Cliff over the new year and we worked out a deal, and I've got this nearly mint PCM70. It's got the version 3 EPROM, but I have loaded in the version 2 presets. So for today, I'm just going to indulge myself and play through some of my favorite presets on here. I will do a much more in-depth video with this at some point in the future, and I'll do a comparison with some other rack units, but for now, let's get greasy. I own a PCM81 as well. The PCM70 is a far more straightforward machine to operate. There is way less deep tweaking, and I'm guessing most people who use this in studios and continue to use it in studios probably just use it as a preset machine. There's so many great sounding factory presets in here. The version 3 firmware on here has different factory presets. So what I've done is I've gone online, I've found the version 2 presets, and using SysX Librarian and a MIDI to USB cable, I loaded them into the PCM70, which was fairly straightforward once I got the connections made. Essentially, you've got your program bank up here, and you've got your register bank down here. The version 3 presets have stuff like the inverse room, which the version 2 can't run. So kind of makes sense to have version 3 and to just have the version 2 presets that you want in the register bank down here. You select different banks using the up and down arrows. You select a preset by pressing the relevant button, and then if you want to edit it, you hit the register bank or the program bank again, and you can kind of navigate through the different parameters over here. You select one that you want, and then you tweak it with this knob here. So very similar to the PCM81, just not quite as dense. Now, like a lot of people, I got turned on to the PCM70 reading about gear that Steve Lukather used, especially during his rack era. Steve used to use 2 of these, one set on the circular delays preset, another set on the pan delays preset, for some pretty lush solo tones. So I want to start with those presets in here, then we'll just roll through a few others. So let's start with the iconic circular delays. That is just such a beautiful lead delay. The diffusion just kind of lets the delays melt away into the background, has this lovely kind of light, fluffy character, but the spatial imaging on it just sounds massive. Playing that in an arena, I don't think you could get anything better than that for a lead tone. The other Lukather preset is the pan delays preset. This is more of just a left-right style, I guess ping pong style delay. Let's check it out. Preset I had never heard talked about though is the Quattro Delays preset. This is 2 slightly offset delays panned almost in the center, and then 2 longer offset delays panned hard right and left. Check it out. The filter delays preset is super sweet as well. It's another one I don't see talked about too much. I'm on the neck pickup. I'm on the neck pickup. Let's check it out. Outside of general guitar rack enthusiasts, I think the PCM70 is probably better known as a reverb processor. The rich plate sounds amazing on dirty electric guitar. It's kind of the sound of the late 80s, especially if you're into that Queensryche thing, or I think George Lynch used this, probably Steve Lukather, and a bunch of other people. Just adds thickness and density to your dirty guitars. We'll hear it on the guitar on its own, and then we'll hear the rich plate on some guitars. We'll hear the concert wave reverb on some vocals, some chorus on bass, and then one of the gated reverb presets on drums, and then all together, just so you can get an idea of kind of how this thing can make a full band mix really shine. But for now, rich plate.
I have fallen from the heights of your heaven above. You were lying when you cried, torn and broken for love. Lay with me, unleash me, burn down our love, just let me go. Broken, bleeding in the dark where you left me so low. I have fallen from the heights of your heaven above. You were lying when you cried, torn and broken for love. Lay with me, unleash me, burn down our love, just let me go. Broken, bleeding in the dark where you left me so low.
The PCM70 rarely gets discussed as a chorus processor. I think the very first preset in the unit, just called chorus, sounds amazing for thickening up dirty guitars. Then we'll hear it on some clean guitars. tiled room reverb is definitely a thing. And of course, we've got to hear the iconic PCM70 concert hall. I've heard the PCM80 version of this. I really like it. I do need to do a comparison video with them, which I'll get around to at some point. But for now, let's hear it with some clean tones. That's going to be it for today. My secondary camera's battery died. I need to charge it up. So feels like a good place to leave off. If you've got any questions or suggestions for future PCM70 videos, leave them in the comments section below. A very special thank you to the one and only Clifton Wright as well for selling me this unit. I've been trying to find one in decent condition for so long, and it's kind of nice that it stayed in the family of rat gear appreciators and enthusiasts. So if you're not subscribed to Clifton's channel, go and do it. Put an extra pair of pants on, as I always say, because he's an amazing player and a certified legend and friend of the channel. I got this unit because I'd heard so much about the circular delays and the pan delays. I love using that style of delay on my rig on my Axe effects, and getting the chance to actually hear them for real from the horse's mouth was pretty interesting, because I think the people that have gone out there and really closely matched them on the Axe have done an amazing job. They sound so close. But the thing that surprised me were the reverbs. That rich plate sounds incredible on dirty rhythm guitar. I like the reverbs in this, I think, even more than in the PCM81. It's immediately kind of shot to the top 2 or 3 reverb machines that I've ever tried in my life, and I can understand why it's got its great reputation. What is interesting though is when these came out, you know, they were kind of, I guess, criticized by some people who were used to stuff like the Lexicon 224 as a poor man's 224, and it will never sound as good as a 224, and people now say that about some modern gear and this stuff. I always say this stuff has its limitations, but within those limitations, there is so much character. The engineers at Lexicon did an incredible job making this machine sound the way it does in the format that it's in, and making it so easy to use. It really is a classic piece of gear. I'm so stoked to own one, and I'm looking forward to sharing lots of the tones with all of you. So if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, you can subscribe, like, join my Patreon, buy some of my music. It's all linked in the video description. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day full of great guitar tones. See you next time.